Hi everyone, welcome back to Raw FPL. So in this one, it's the Game Week 24 team selection. And yeah, it's the first double game week of the season. Liverpool and Everton both have doubles, so we're going to be looking basically at the Liverpool and the Everton players. Also Bournemouth, they're absolutely smashing Nottingham Forest 5-0. So their players look pretty good. Some really cheap midfielders as well, which I'll talk about. And also Brentford players, they look really good. A really good run of fixtures coming up. So we'll take a look at those as well. I do have lots of free transfers. Annoyingly, I didn't do the Gakpo transfer, which I planned last week, and obviously I went and smashed it. I am recording this just before the Liverpool game starts in the Champions League, and Gakpo looks like he is starting. So that'll be interesting to see how many minutes he gets. For what it's worth, I think he probably will play, but yeah, we'll have a look and see how many minutes he gets. But anyway, in this one, it's a Game Week 24 team selection, and then yeah, I'll just talk about some future moves as well. So if you do like this one, please do drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you're new, and let's jump into it. So before we look at Game Week 24, then let's just quickly recap on Game Week 23. And basically, the Gakpo move, which I was going to do, in the end I just didn't do it because I had doubts. I thought Fernandes got a really good fixture. I also thought João Pedro, he had a pretty decent fixture as well. Both of them blanked, and Gakpo went and smashed it. So really annoying. But yeah, I mean, there's a small red arrow down to about 208k now. So it's still, the rank's still okay, but obviously with that, the Gakpo points, it would have been a really big green arrow. So yeah, small red arrow down. I think it was only down about 6 points, but still just annoying because I was so close to doing it. But anyway, I've got enough free transfers now, and yeah, I can still do the move. And obviously Gakpo is starting, so it'll be interesting. You know, if Gakpo gets injured or something tonight, then it's going to look like holding the transfer is probably the best thing to do. But he has just got 16 points, so. But anyway, we move forward. These things happen. Elsewhere, Isak, if you captained him, absolutely smashed it, 13 points. Salah with the 8 points, obviously captained 16. Gordon got the assist, which a bit annoying really because obviously I kept Gordon for that really good fixture against Southampton. So to come away with just an assist is a bit frustrating, but still, it's a return, I suppose. Sanchez, so in net, obviously 2 points. He just doesn't look very good at all, and I am really worried that, you know, he might get dropped at any moment. So Sanchez, and then also Fabianski, he got benched as well. So if Sanchez is benched, then I'm going to have no goalkeeper. So I'll talk about that in the next section, but I am looking to make a goalkeeper transfer. I'm just not certain with Sanchez. He could be benched at any moment. He doesn't look great. And yeah, as I say, the backup had Fabianski, but now I don't even have him. So yeah, I'll be potentially looking to move him on. Returns from Gabriel and Trent. Trent with the assist. And to be honest, Greaves obviously scored the very last minute of that game. And it wiped out Trent's clean sheet, but a lot of people went for double Liverpool defence. So it kind of was actually probably good that Greaves scored, even though Trent didn't keep a clean sheet. And then, yeah, João Pedro and Chris Wood, both from blanking. So between the two of them, I mean, João Pedro, he just keeps playing like a left back. It's like just quite annoying. I mean, the XG, it's not been great. 0.2, 0.0, 0.18. Then he obviously got that goal, but that was a penalty. So he's just not been brilliant recently. So I am actually looking to move him on. And then Chris Wood, he's just blanked, so that's fine. Really good Bournemouth side. But then he's got Brighton and Fulham. I mean, Brighton, it's a fairly good fixture. I think it's fine. But then he does come into this run of fairly bad fixtures. So I'll talk a bit more about Chris Wood in a bit. And then, yeah, same with Fernandes. 3 points. He blanked. And the fixtures are fine, but he is kind of like a cash cow just sat there. So, yeah, there's quite a few moves going to be made ready for that double. So let's talk about the double now. As I say, 58 points total. A small red arrow to 208k. Let's take a look at Game Week 24. Okay, so moving on to Game Week 24. Obviously, as I said, it's the first double game week of the season. So this is how the team was. I've actually made 2 transfers. As I said, Sanchez, I'm just not confident he's going to start. He's making so many mistakes. And Fabianski on the bench, he's also been benched now. So if Sanchez doesn't play, I won't have a playing keeper. So I think the obvious move here is to Pickford. So I've actually done this transfer. I've got Pickford in, and I got him at 5 million rather than 5.1. So I actually needed 0.3. So to do that, I sold Fernandes, and I've brought in Mbeumo. So that's what it looks like now. As I say, I've actually got 0.2 in the bank. So I've still got 3 free transfers remaining. I had 5 for the first time this season, which is quite nice. So I can change the whole team around. But that's how it looks currently, and I've got 3 free transfers. So Pickford in net, double game week. As I say, he seems like the obvious one because, you know, he gets a lot of save points. He's got the double game week. Palace, Man United, Brentford, Wolves, and then West Ham. And then I'm probably going to wildcard him 30 anyway. So he looks good, and he can get save points as well. I don't actually mind the double up. So if you need like a cheap defender, you can get like Mikolenko. He's only 4.4. I mean, you can have the double up there, but I wouldn't go kind of taking hits and things because I think Leicester score and I do think Liverpool score. So Pickford, he can make saves and there is a chance they keep one clean sheet. But yeah, so Pickford in net, and then I've got Hall, Trent with a double. Currently Gabriel, although that could be Colwell against West Ham. But I think Gabriel, his goal threat is just really good, so I don't want to miss any kind of like bullet headers that he does. So currently that's the back three. I've got Palmer going nowhere. A lot of people are selling him, which I don't get because they've got West Ham, Brighton, Villa, Southampton, Leicester, and then obviously you're going to want him for Southampton, Leicester at home. So I wouldn't be selling Palmer. And then Mbeumo, I think the double up, to be honest, on Brentford looks really good. These fixtures here Spurs at home is a good fixture now. West Ham, Leicester, Everton. I mean, it gets a bit trickier. But as I said, I'll be wildcarding probably 30. So I think, Mbeumo is on penalties. I think he looks a really good option. The same with Wissa. But I think if I was going to choose one of the two, it would be Mbeumo. And then I'm going to triple captain Salah. I think if you've still got your triple captain and you've got your assistant manager, I prefer the triple captain just because it's not the best double. Like Bournemouth away and Everton away, you can, it wouldn't be a shock really if Bournemouth won. Obviously, Liverpool are favourites, but if Bournemouth won, I don't think anyone would be really surprised. And then Everton, you could easily see that being a draw. Like the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. So, yeah, I think Salah triple captain. I'd probably rather use that as opposed to the assistant manager because also the assistant manager, I think that'll be good to use in the last double game week in game week 36 because a lot of lower teams, so teams down the bottom of the table, they'll be fighting to survive. And then a lot of teams above them, like mid-pack, they'll just be on the beach, not really have anything to play for. So that's my current plan. Triple captain now, and then I'm going to assistant manager game week 36. Gordon against Fulham. So I don't think he's a must sell. I think Fulham at home's okay, but then Man City, Forest, and Liverpool, they're quite difficult fixtures. So he is kind of again, a bit of a cash cow to go. And then João Pedro, Chris Wood, and Isak against Fulham. João Pedro, as I said, I just don't want a left back. He just keeps playing as a left back, and I don't get it. And the fixtures are pretty bad. Obviously, he's got Southampton in there, but I just don't think it's worth holding him. So the obvious thing to do here would be to get the Liverpool triple up. So I'm kind of thinking João Pedro out and Gakpo. It'll be interesting to see, though, as I say, I'm recording this as Liverpool are about to start the Champions League game. So if Gakpo is injured, or, if he plays loads of minutes, I could actually swap that and I could go for Diaz instead. But currently I'm thinking Gakpo in and then Gordon out. And I wanted to get Semenyo, but I missed, as I say, I've got 5.5 mil in the bank as opposed to 5.4 there. But I missed the João Pedro price drop. So I was going to get Semenyo in, but as you can see, he's 5.6. If I had 5.7, I probably would go for Kluivert because he's on penalties. But I think because I've only got 5.5 mil, so I'm going to have to go for Dango. So that's how it's going to look. I just think Bournemouth midfielders, there's such good value. Especially Dango, only 5 million. And he's playing as a striker. And Evan Nielsen's out for quite a while. We don't actually know when he's back. And then the other striker, he's injured. I think he's done his ACL or something. So he's going to be out for the season. So Dango, certainly till about game week 30, which is when I'm looking to wildcard, he looks like he should play up top. And he's only 5 million, so I think it's really good value. Obviously, if you just need to do a swap, so if you need to do Gordon to, I don't know, another Brentford midfielder, I don't think I'd do it this week because obviously Fulham is the better fixture. But next week, I'd hold Gordon, and next week, if you're going to do it to Southampton, to the Bournemouth player against Southampton, I think that's really good. And then going forward just looks really good. So yeah, this run here, I think you definitely want some sort of that Bournemouth attack. So yeah, I think I would go for Kluivert. If you can't go for Kluivert, I think Semenyo or Dango are fine. I was originally thinking Semenyo just because he's so, his open goal threat is pretty good. But equally, he is 0.6 million more, and Dango is playing up top. So I think the ranking probably would be Kluivert first if you can afford him. If not, Dango, and then I'd probably go Semenyo. Just because, especially if you wildcard, if you wildcard in 30 like me, I think short term Dango looks good. So that's how it would look, and I think I probably would bench Dango for this, and I'd play Ahmad. So that's how it's kind of going to look there. So I'll have my triple up of Liverpool. So I'll have Trent, Salah, Gakpo, which I think they are probably the best triple up. And then I'd have Pickford in there. I think one Everton is kind of fine. A lot of people, like I said, if you need another defender, so if it's you're downgrading the defender and you need money to upgrade to get Gakpo, for example, then I don't mind kind of like Mikalenko or something like that. But I wouldn't go, ruining your team just to get Everton players in. So yeah, that's the team there. Triple captain on Salah. I'll have Pickford in net, double game week. Trent with his double game week. Gabriel, Hall. As I said, I might swap it for Colwill against West Ham, but I think Hall and Gabriel, their attacking threat is just way better. So I'll probably stick to that. Ahmad, currently ahead of Dango. I don't think we're going to change that just because Liverpool is pretty hard. Salah triple captain, and Mbeumo against Tottenham, Palmer against West Ham. Gakpo finishing the Liverpool triple up. Chris Wood and then Isak. So I'll have one free transfer left going into game week 25. And yeah, I think it looks good. I'll just rotate Ahmad and Dango. So the game week 25, I'll just roll 2 free transfers. And then yeah, the team was pretty well set there, to be honest. One thing to bear in mind is that game week 29, because of the cup final, it's likely that Newcastle will blank because they're obviously beating Arsenal. So Newcastle will probably blank. And let's have a look. So if I can set that there, projected fixtures, that should pop them up. Yeah, there we go. So if I go to game week 29, yeah, so Aston Villa, they'll probably blank. Crystal Palace will probably blank. Liverpool will probably blank. And then Newcastle will probably blank as well. So just bear that in mind. Obviously, it's another reason why I want to sell Gordon. And then later down the line, I'll probably sell Hall. So if I go to game week 29, look, I've got quite a lot of blanks there. But I'll have loads of transfers to deal with this. So I'm probably going to sell Gakpo before then. I'll sell Lewis Hall before then. I've got a bit of money loads of money tied up in Isak and Salah. So I'm going to bench those two. And I'll probably bench Trent. So the next kind of 3 transfers down the line would be Hall out, Gakpo out. And then I've kind of got another one to play around with. So, yeah, that is the rough plan. As I say, I think it looks pretty good for game week 24. I've got my triple Liverpool. I've got an Everton keeper. And, yeah, I'll sort of roll into the next game with 2 free transfers. So yeah, let me know what you think. I don't know. I think it's probably the right triple up. I could potentially just do Gordon to Diaz. So say Gakpo gets injured, I could just do Gordon to Diaz. But currently, this is what I'm going to do. Gakpo in. And then I'll also get Dango in, ready for the next game week. So if you did like this one, please do drop a like and hit subscribe if you're new. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. And yeah, I'll catch you again after the deadline. So best of luck and I'll see you next time. Cheers.